Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gammavamahe, Kavim Kavinam Upavashravastramam, Jeshtarajam Brahmanan, Brahmanaspata, Anushranhota Viseda Sadhanam, Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha, Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhvaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuvaya Namaha, Matsudaya Namaha, Trivikramaya Namaha, Vamanaya Namaha, Sridharaya Namaha, Hrishikeshaya Namaha, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshanaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Pradyumnaya Namaha, Aniruddhaya Namaha, Purushottamaya Namaha, Adokshaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Janardanaya Namaha, Upendraya Namaha, Hare Namaha, Sri Krishnaya Namaha, Shambhave Namaha, Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya, Trayambakaya, Tripurantakaya, Trikagnikalaya, Kalagnirudraya, Neelakantaya, Mrityunjayaya, Sarveshwaraya, Sadashivaya, Srimad Mahadevaya Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Om, Om Haim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche, Om Haim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche, Om Haim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche. Dear friends and devotees, we came to the 12th chapter of Srimad, 12th chapter of the 7th book on Sri Devi Bhagavath Purana. In this chapter, Vasista Maharishi's curse on Trishanku. This is discussed. Vyasa Maharishi is continued his narration of Srimad Devi Bhagavatham to Janamejaya king in Hastinapura palace. Vyasa Maharishi is telling Janamejaya, O king, thus giving the advice to his son, the king Trishanku was excited with feelings of love and in a choked voice, said to his father that he would fulfill what he had been ordered. The king then called the Brahmins, versed in the Vedas and mantrams, and had all the materials for installation collected quickly. He brought the excuse me, he brought the waters from all the sacred places of pilgrimages. He then called together the great respect to all the kings. Then he called together the great respect to all the kings. On a sacred day, the father installed his son on the throne and gave him in accordance with due rites and ceremonies. The royal throne is given by his father. The king then adopted with his wife the third vanaprastha stage of life and practiced a severe tapasya on the banks of the Ganga river. Then, in due course of time, the king went to the heavens, and there he began to shine like a second sun by the side of Indra, respected by all the devotees. Janamejaya asked the questions, O Bhagavan, you spoke before in the course of conversation that Satyavrata was cursed by Vasista on killing of his cow to become a Pishachi. How then he got himself freed of this curse? There is a doubt on this point. Kindly clear it and oblige. Satyavrata was cursed, hence pronounced unfit to succeed the throne. How was the Muni? By what actions was he freed of the curse? How could the father bring back to his home his son of the form of Pishachi? O Viprasi, kindly narrate to me how the Muni was freed from this curse of Pishachatva. Veda Vyasa started narrating, answering his questions. Yes, he is being cursed by Vasista Maharshi. Satyavrata became then and there transformed into Pishacha. Very ugly, violent, terrible to all, but when he worshipped the Bhagavati Devi with devotion, immediately Devi gave him a beautiful divine body. By the grace of Bhagavati Tripurasundari, Lata Tripurasundari Devi, his sins were all washed away and his Pishachatva form vanished. Satyavrata, then freed from his son's sins, became very much vigorous and energetic. Vasista also became pleased with him, blessed thus by the supreme force, and so was his father. 2. When his father died, the virtuous Satyavrata became the king, governed his subjects, and performed various sacrifices, means yajna, conducted havan and yajna, several kinds of yajna he did, and worshipped too the eternal mother of the of gods, that is Bhagavati Bhuvaneshwari. O King Trishanku had a very beautiful son born to him, named Harishchandra. Endowed in all his limbs and auspicious signs, the king Trishanku wanted to make his son Yuvaraja, the crown prince, and then in his that very body, while living, enjoy the heavens. The king went to the ashrama of Vasista Maharshi and gladly asked his permission with folded palms and hands, bowing down before him duly. O ascetic, you are the son of Brahma, versed in all the Vedic mantras, so you are exceedingly fortunate. Now I beg to inform you one thing, hear it gladly. Now I desire to enjoy the happiness of the heavens and all the enjoyments of the devas. While I am in this body, to enjoy the Nandana garden, to live in the Apsaras and hear the sweet music of the Devatas and Gandharvas. These ideas now have taken a strong hold of my heart. Therefore, O great Vasishtha Muni, engage me in such a yajna as will enable me in this very body to live in the Swargaloka. O Muni, you are fully competent to do this. Therefore, be ready for this. Have the yajna done and let me have quickly to Devaloka, so difficult to be obtained. Vasishtha Maharishi said, O king, it is exceedingly hard to live in the heavens while in this mortal body. The departed only live in the heavens by their merits. This is known fact. Therefore, O omniscient one, your desire is hard to be attained. I am afraid this, O king, a living man, can hardly enjoy apsaras. Therefore, O blessed one, do the yajnas first. Then, when you leave this body, you will go to the heavens. That's what Vasishtha Maharshi said. Vyasa Maharshi said to the king Janamejaya, O king, the Maharshi Vasishtha was already angry with the king. Therefore, when he spoke these words, the king heard and became absent-minded. He again spoke to the Maharshi, O Brahmana, if you do not allow me to do this yajna on account of your haughtiness, I will have the sacrifice performed now by another priest. Vasishtha became angry again, very angry at the words of the king, and cursed him. O evil-minded one, be as soon as possible Chandala in this body. You have committed acts by which your path to the heaven is obstructed. You have stolen Brahmin's wife and defiled the path of religion. You have killed the Surabhi cow and you are a libertine. You did a lot of injustice and lot of sins. Therefore, O sinner, never you will go to heavens, even after your death. Vyasa Maharshi said, O king, hearing these harsh words from the Guru, Vasishtha Maharshi, Trishanku became immediately Chandala in that very moment. His golden earrings became turned into iron. The sweet sandal smell over his body smelled like feces. His beautiful yellow clothing became blue. The color of his body became like that of an elephant due to his curse. O king, those who are the worshippers of the supreme force can produce such things when they are angry. There is not the slightest doubt in this. Therefore, one ought never to insult any devotee of the Supreme Bhagavati. The Muni Vasishtha is always engaged in repeating silently the Gayatri mantra of the Bhuvaneshwari Devi, Gayatri mantra. He becomes very strong and powerful by chanting the Gayatri. He is becoming very, very powerful. So what wonder is there that the body of the king will be reduced to such a wretched state by his age? The king Trishanku became very sorry to see his ugly body. He did not go home, rather he remained in the forest in that form and a poor dress. He began to think, distressed with sorrow and overpowered with misery, my body is now blamable to the extreme. So what to do, where to go in this wretched state? I find no remedy to exhaust all my sufferings. If I go home, my son will be no doubt very much pained with sorrow. My wife will, when she see me in Chandala appearance, she will not accept me. My ministers will not regard me as they used to do before. My friends and relations, when they will come to me, will not serve me with the former care. So it is far better to die than to live. Thus despised, I will drink poison or drown myself in waters or hang myself, or I will burn myself in the funeral pyre duly, or I will quit this blamable life by starvation. By alas, I will be guilty of suicide. So again, due to this sin, I will be born a Chandala, and I will be again cursed. Thus thinking, the king again thought that at present he ought not to commit suicide by any means. I will have to suffer in this forest for my karma in this my body without the enjoyment of the fruits. The past actions can never die out. Therefore, all actions done by me, auspicious or inauspicious, I will enjoy or suffer in this place. Always to remain close to a holy ashrama, to wander in holy places of pilgrimage, to remember the Devi Ambika, and to serve the saints will now be my duties. Thus I will no doubt exhaust all my actions residing in the forest. Then, if chance permits, and if I meet with saintly person, all my intentions will be crowned with success. Thus thinking, the king, quitting his city, went to the banks of the Ganga river, and repenting very much, remained there on the bank of the Ganga river. The king Harishchandra came to know the cause of his father's curse, and with a sorrowful heart sent ministers to him. Like Chandala, the king was respiring frequently. At this time, the ministers went to him and, bowing humbly, said, O king, your son has ordered us to come here. We have come at his command. We are the ministers of the king Harishchandra. Know this verily. O king, kindly hear what the crown prince has said. Go and bring my father here without any delay. Therefore, O king, cast aside your mental agonies. Come to the city. The ministers, the subjects, all will be always at your service. We will all try our best to please Vasista Maharishi so that he may favor you. And that greatly illustrious Muni, being pleased, will certainly remove your sorrows quickly. O king, thus your son has spoken to us many words. So now be pleased to go to your own abode. As Maharishi said to King Janamejaya, the Chandala-like king, hearing even their words, thus did not consent to go back to his house. Rather, he told them, ministers, go back, all of you, to the city, and at my word tell my son that I won't go back to my house. Better leaving off all idleness. You better govern the kingdom carefully. Show your respect to, especially to the Brahmins, and perform various sacrifices, yajna, and worship the devas. I do not like in this blamable Chandala form to go to the city of Ayodhya with the high-shouldered ones. So you all go back to Ayodhya without any further delay. Install at my order my powerful son Harishchandra on the throne, and do all these stately duties. When the ministers heard thus the king ordering them, they began to cry very much, and bowing down, they went away early out of the hermitage. On coming back to Ayodhya, they regularly installed on a sacred day the king Harishchandra with Abhisheka water purified with mantrams. Thus the powerful virtuous Harishchandra, on being installed on the royal throne by the command of the king, remembered always his father, and began to govern his kingdom with his ministers according to the dictates of Dharma. Here ends the 12th chapter of the 7th book on description of Vasista's curse on Trishanku in the Mahapurana of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham of 18,000 shlokas of Maharishi Veda Vyasa. So the powerful devotee Vasista of Bhagavati is able to curse the King Trishanku. His previous name was Satyavrata. He was called as Trishanku because he did three severe mistakes in his life. That's how he was called. So it is important to become a devotee of the Supreme Goddess, Sri Bhagavati, Lalita Tripura Sundari. Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama. Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama. Adi Parashakti Palayama. Om Namostu Anantaya Sahasramurtaye Sahasrapadakshara Sahasranamne Purushashrutaye Sahasrakoti Yugadarane Namaha Sahasrakoti Yugadarane Namaha Akashat Paritam Metagrsagaram Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Srikesham Prigatyo Namaha Sarva Vedeshat Punyam Sarva Tirteshu Yatpalam Tatpalam Purnamapti Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasante Jagatrayam Sarva Bhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostate Kaya Navacha Manasendriyarva बुद्धात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि